Hey guys, it's Mark from Oceaholic again. Apparently you seemed to like yesterday's unboxing video, so yeah, we just went straight ahead and go and give you the second one. In this case we're having a look at the Prodigy M from BitFenix, which is basically the mATX version of the old mini IDX case. Yeah, let's cut straight through the chase and open the box. Since there is nothing really interesting going on the outside. And yeah, so I think it's already open now. So as you can see, there is a manual and some weird whatever plate on top, which we will show you at the later stage. So yeah, that's the weird thingy. And yeah, let's get it out of the box. This one we don't need anymore. So yeah, foam pieces everywhere, so it's very well packed. It won't get damaged during transfer. But yeah, also stuff we don't need. And there is the plastic bag, so nothing gets scratched. And yeah, we don't need that bugger too. So yeah, what is it? So there we go. BitFenix Prodigy M. Basically, yeah, as I already said, it looks exactly the same from the outside as the mini IDX version. In this case, the white version, you see the front, it doesn't have the same mesh like the black one has. That is actually a difference between the two versions. But it comes with this really nice soft touch plastic material. Up here you have a 5¼ inch drive bay, if you might want to use that one, and down here there is the BitFenix logo. And yeah, I mean, compared to the black version, you have a bit less options regarding cooling, but yeah, I mean, cooling, that's definitely not the worst about this case anyway. So let's go to the right side. Here the most interesting thing is that BitFenix has chosen to put the I/O panel right here. So you have power button, you have reset button, you have two lights, then you have the plugs for headphone and microphone, and there are two USB 3 ports. So on the other side of the case, you just see the steel plate. It's actually a rather thick steel, so the thing is really sturdy, it's very well built. Yeah, nothing is really flexing apart from these handlebars, which are actually made to be flexing. It's it does have this soft touch feel again, which looks a bit, the colors are not perfectly in matching one another, but yeah, but still the handlebars, they look quite nice. I mean, I've always liked them on the Mac Pro, and BitFenix must have felt kind of the same. Yeah, let's open the case right away now, and for that purpose we switch to the back of the thingy, and let's actually, here you can see there are 5 slot bezels. I mean, that's a rather good idea of BitFenix to put 5 of these there. Since some motherboards, the last slot on them, that's a PCI Express X16 where you can put a VGA, and if you put it in there, then you actually need 5 expansion slots and not only 4. 4 are not going to be enough. But yeah, that's there we have a 120mm fan. This is the power plug, and it's connected to an extension cable since the power supply is in the front in this case. And yeah, let's remove the thumb screws. So yeah, they're really decent screw threads. Makes it easy to remove the thumb screws. There are a few cases out there which where I don't know where the manufacturers start saving money on this stuff, but it's actually, for the ergonomics, I really like it. It leaves a really good impression if the screw threads are well made. So let's remove this side panel. There we go. And as you can see, there is the USB 3 connector, there are the HD audio connectors, and the connectors for the motherboard, reset, power, and all that stuff. So yeah, here you can see you can actually mount 2.5 inch drives here. In fact, 2 of them, whatever you might take, SSDs or hard drives, or yeah, whatever there is in 2.5 inch format. It's really a nice idea to put it here. I mean, it can be a little bit flimsy to connect the cables and to the motherboard and stuff, but yeah, it gives you some additional flexibility, and there is actually quite some flexibility in this case when it comes to hard drives and SSDs. You can install up to 5 2.5-inch drives and 4 3.5-inch drives. So yeah, that's rather cool. And yeah, let's have a look at the inside now. And here you can definitely see this looks quite a bit different from the old Prodigy mATX, because I mean the old Prodigy mATX had this platform up here where you put the power supply underneath the platform, but in this case the power supply goes right here in the front. And yeah, actually let's grab a power supply and show you how much space there actually is. So here we go, get this little bugger here. So, and yeah, you place this thing. Yeah, first we have to remove the extension cable since it's quite in the way. You place it somewhat like this in the frame, and there is actually plenty of space. You could even install a 180mm long power supply, and there is still enough space to do the cable management and stuff. Although, I mean, cable management on this case could actually be a little bit better if the entire case was a tiny little bit wider. We will come to that when we look at the back side of the motherboard. So let's take it out again. So yeah, here you can see there are some more drive mounts. You can mount 2.5-inch drives here, you can mount 3.5-inch drives here. You can even install anti-vibration grommets, so that's actually quite cool. So that's the box with all the accessory inside. There is like another one of these, the USB 3 connectors to the motherboard. So it's actually, no, it's USB 2.0, sorry. And there are a few screws you might eventually need, and some more stuff to install fans with anti-vibration. So yeah, let's put this stuff aside. This one we also don't need anymore. Yeah, also here on the ground, maybe you can zoom in a little bit. You can see there is an additional fan at the bottom to push hot air outside of the case. BitFenix decided to install it right here. So yeah, let's open the other side panel for now. There are also the really decent thumb screws. So, this side panel, and yeah, also, I mean, as said, it's rather sturdy, the thing, as you can see from here. Really well built, there is enough metal. So, yeah, on this side of the case you can see there is a huge cutout between behind the motherboard, so you can easily install air coolers which have a backplate. And yeah, but yeah, now we come to the point with the cable management. Since I would have loved to see a bit more space here, like that there is like some more depth here, that you can hide more cables. But yeah, BitFenix too obviously chose this direction. Yeah, maybe at this point we can also remove the front plate. So, there we go. So this is actually the front plate, that's it. And yeah, you can see, I mean, it's the same chassis as with the Mini ITX, it's exactly the same front, but I mean, although there is this huge mesh with all the fan mounting points, you're gonna put the power supply here, and then I mean you'll see quite quickly what this actually means for ventilation in the case. Since I mean, this is a fanless power supply, but if I were to put a power supply with a fan, I would prefer to mount it like this, that it can suck in fresh air from the outside, and that the power supply runs really cool and doesn't really heat up the internals too much. So let's remove this one again. So yeah, I think that's almost it. I mean, there is also this thingy that you can pre-mount the power supply. This bracket. Here we go. And yeah. Oh yeah, we've not been talking about the top of the case. There is like with the mini-ITX version, there is also this mesh fan grill, which can easily be removed. So there you go. And in this case, you can install two 120mm fans. BitFenix meanwhile also has quite a few of their own fans. They look really nice. They suit to the color scheme of both the black and the white cases. Yeah, and it gives you also some flexibility to place water cooler radiators. I mean, you can put in slim radiators, but you'll use some of the flexibility with a 5¼ inch drive base. So that's it. Also on the back of the case, where the 120mm fan is, you can install either a 120mm all-in-one water cooler or a 140 radiator, whatever you want to go for. So guys, thanks very much for watching, and in the meantime we clean up the mess, and yeah.